Welcome back to Soulful Sundays Podcast with me, Corinthia. Listen, y'all, we are now on episode 8, and I am so excited, y'all, because we are just pushing along, and it's a new month. It is now May, y'all, May 2026, and this is my birthday month. Your girl is now about to officially, this month on May 13th, okay, I will be 51. So, y'all, this is something extraordinary for me because this is a milestone. I never even imagined turning 51. Just some background for you. If you heard my story of becoming who I am today, right? My growing up story, my mother passed when I was 9 years old. And she was in her 40s. I don't even know the exact age, but she was in her 40s. I do know that. And she lived a crazy life. She was on drugs. She was sickly. She had diabetes, all kind of things going on in her life. She didn't live the best healthy life, right? And I had a lot of trauma behind that and the things that I've been through growing up in those first 9 years of my life. And when she passed away, a neighbor actually took me in, and she passed away in her early 40s. And so, well, shucks, it could have been 30, late 30s, early 40s. I'm not quite sure on that either. And so for me to even reach this pivotal time, this mark in my life, this juncture in my life, this age, I am so blessed and I am so grateful and thankful. And that's why I take my health so serious. That's why I take life so serious. That's why I try my best to live intentionally, live in the moment, because in a blink of an eye, all this could be gone. And I don't want to start the podcast off so grim. I don't know. It's not a downer, but I just want you to ponder on that and realize that we can't take this thing called life for granted. We can't take what we have for granted. We can't take people for granted. We can't take our blessings for granted. We can't take any moment, any second in time for granted, because we don't know when it's going to be our last, right? We got to treat people the way we want to be treated. We got to love on each other. We got to love on ourselves. We got to take better care of ourselves, ladies, right? And so with all that being said, and that's why I am called to this thing called self-love, because I had to first love myself and learn how to love on me and bring myself back to life in order to love on other women, love on my children first, love on my spouse, love on other people, and really pour this into other people, right? And so we can't take nothing for granted. And that's why starting this month, my journal is now available. I know I've been talking about this journal, y'all, but the journal is now available, y'all. The Soulful Sunday journal you can now get on Amazon, because I want you to pick up that journal, because we are intentional and we're starting our 90 days of intention. And what is that? That is us being intentional about our life, being intentional about who we are and what we want and who are we becoming, right? And so for the next 90 days, I want you to be intentional. I want you to get the journal. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I want you to start this journey with us, ladies. I want you to join a Queen's Tribe, get the journal, start this journey with us by setting an intention. Now, I don't want you to overwhelm yourself, right? And I want you to choose one thing that you want to set a goal for the next 90 days. And I don't want you to say, I want to lose weight. No, I want us to think more broader. I want us to say, I want to be healthier, right? I don't want us to put ourselves in a box, right? I want you to say, I'm going to change my spending habits. I don't want you to say, I'm going to save $1,000. I'm going to save $10,000. No, I want you to say things like, I'm going to change my spending habits. How does that look like? I'm going to budget. I'm going to put myself on a spending plan. I'm going to look over my subscriptions and see what I need and what I don't need. Things like that. And so for the next 90 days, we are being intentional. And I ask you to join the Queen's Tribe only because that's where our accountability is going to lie. We're going to take that moment in time to be accountable to one another. See, a lot of times we fall by the wayside when we set intentions and set goals and try to accomplish things because we don't have anyone to be accountable to, right? Because we don't have that person say, hey, did you do what you said you was going to do today? Did you walk that extra mile? Did you pack your lunch, right? So we are setting intentions. We are being intentional. We're listening to the podcast, watching the podcast. Whatever you said you're going to do, we're doing it together. And so starting this month, the month of May, my birth month, we are being intentional, and I invite you to do the same. So let's get started with today's podcast. We are now on episode 8. And y'all, we're talking about stop pouring into people who don't pour into you. Baby, you got your coffee, you got that tea, you got that whatever you sipping on, okay? Because we're diving in. We're diving in, and I'm diving in the deep end, okay? I'm diving in the deep end. Clock that T. Because we have to recognize, y'all, recognize those one-sided relationships. And I know this sometimes feels crazy, and you might second guess yourself, and you might say, you know what? They might be going through something. I'm going to give them a pass, or you're just so used to doing for others. We talk about that so much on the podcast and in my coaching programs, how we are always the ones that's always doing for someone else. We're always the one giving of our time. We're always the one that pick up the phone and check on people. We're always the one that always show up for everybody else's events. But as soon as we have something, everybody else is busy. Come on. We're always the one cheering everyone else on, right? We're always the one being there for everybody else, for every event. We at children parties, and y'all at children parties and don't even, y'all children grown. Come on. You TT and auntie and y'all ain't even related. Y'all always at these parties and graduations and stuff. You love the kids, but your kids grown, baby. You don't even have kids, but you show up. Because that's just the person you are, right? But it is time. Sweetheart, I hate to tell you, it is time for you to reevaluate some stuff. It is time for you to recognize some things and ask yourself, is this a one-sided relationship? Come on. Is this something that I'm benefiting from? Is everybody else benefiting from me? Who am I benefiting from? Who am I getting something from? And I know it's not always about getting something, but sometimes it gotta be a little give and take, right? You have your seasons of giving, but where's your season of receiving? If you're always giving of yourself, when do you ever get a chance to receive? Do you have those fair weather friends? They only come around when they want something. When you cooking something, where the cookout at, huh? Memorial Day right around the corner. I used to be that household because around my neighborhood, I lived near a golf course, right? A country club kind of thing. And every year for, what holiday that is? 4th of July, they pop off the fireworks. Poo, ping, pong, ping, pew. That was the sound effects. But they pop off the fireworks, and we would invite people to the house. Now, don't get me wrong, we do invite people, and we have the cookout, and we got the food and the hot dogs and the chips and the kids, bubbles and stuff like that for the kids, and it's a good old time. But what about the rest of the year? Did you call and check on us? I see y'all grilling some stuff on Facebook. Did you invite us? Hello? Anybody home? So it's like we stopped doing it. We stopped inviting. And so my husband even got some calls like, hey, y'all got the fireworks this year? Nah, they ain't doing it this year. Because we realized that those type of relationships were one-sided. You forgot about us when you had your cookout. Where were you? Where were we? You ain't pick up the phone. You ain't say nothing. So you got to ask yourself, why do we overgive? Because there's a root to every cause, right? There's a cause and an effect. There's a cause to why you do what you do. Y'all don't want to go deep. I told y'all we going in on the deep end. We going in on the deep end. And don't be afraid of the deep waters. Don't fight this thing, because when you fight, you drown. Come on. You know it. I can't swim. And you start fighting, and you exude all your energy, and you sink to the bottom. So don't fight this thing. We're going to float on, baby. So, why do you overgive? See, if you had your journals, go ahead to Amazon, click that link, get your journal from Amazon, okay? I want you to ask yourself and write this in your journal. Why do I overgive? Is it because I want love in return? And I was taught if I give, I get back praise. If I give, I get back love. If I overgive, I get a well done, a pat on the back. If I overgive, I get attention from that person that I'm trying to get attention from and trying to please and trying to get noticed from. Come on. That little girl on the inside of us just want to be heard. That little girl on the inside of us just want to be seen. So I'm going to overgive so you can see me. Hey, I'm over here. Hello. See me. That could be you. And that could be the reason why we give. And then we get so hurt when no one sees us. We get so angry when no one acknowledges what we've done for them. And it's not that they might not see it or they take you for granted. It's just that that's what you always do because you always give. They're used to it. Yeah. So, Queen, I'm telling you, and today you got to learn how to choose yourself without guilt. Some of you feel guilty for choosing yourself, and simply because you never saw your mother or your grandmother, your auntie choosing them, because they felt guilty for choosing themselves. And they never had the opportunity to choose them because they had to be a strong black woman, a strong independent woman. They had to find ways to make it work. They didn't have time to choose them, right? Because they was raising your siblings, right? They felt guilty anytime they bought themselves something because they knew that they had to make sure you were good. And so we were raised watching them, right? And that was embedded in us. And so if the house wasn't straight, we would dare not buy something for ourselves. We would dare not choose us over anyone else. We would make sure not only our households were good, our kids were good, our spouse were good, but everybody else outside of us is good before we take care of ourselves. And we feel guilty when we do. You feel guilty for buying that new purse that you've been watching and saving for, because you think people going to say, girl, you always coming in here. You always spending some money. What you need that for? Because she deserved it. Because she worked hard for it. Because she saved for it. Come on. But you feel guilty because you hear people murmuring. You hear your spouse saying, another one? Okay. You feel guilty because you have other women envious of what you have. Come on. That's a real thing. Yeah, that's real. So you have to learn to choose yourself without guilt. Because if you don't choose you, who will? Come on, baby. If you don't choose you, who's going to choose you? Who's going to choose you? Without expecting something in return. Expecting you to do more than what they're going to do for you. Can we be 100? You got to learn how to reclaim your energy, your space, your identity. You got to learn how to reclaim your peace. You got to reclaim you, queen. You got to reclaim all of you, not just some of you, all of you. And that's why for the next 90 days, we being intentional and reclaiming ourselves, our energy. Get back what was stolen. Get back what we desire. Get back what we think about. Get back our beauty. Get back our strength. Get back our energy. Get back our peace. Get back our joy. Where's our joy? We got to bring those things back to us. I bring back my joy. I bring back my peace. I bring back my energy. I bring back my fulfillment. I bring back my happiness. Come on, because you have given it all away to everyone else. You bring it back to you. You command it back to you. You speak it back to you. And you embody it because it is yours. Come on. Y'all got me preaching tonight. Ha ha ha. Today, this morning, or whenever you're listening to this. As you can see, it's evening. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it's evening as I'm recording this. Yes, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it because we are bringing these things back to us, because we are reclaiming who we are. We're reclaiming our space. We are reclaiming our identity, because we are deserving of everything we want. Our peace, our joy, our energy, our existence. We have to stop giving it away. Ladies, it's that time. It's that time. So hopefully you already got your journal out, okay? You already got your journal out. So it's now time for our 3 crowns. Are you ready? Are you ready? It is 3 crowns. And if you don't know what the 3 crowns are, let me tell you, baby. Okay? Our 3 crowns are our affirmation, our scripture, and our wellness activity for the week. These are things that we're holding on to, practicing, and believing in for the entire week. Remember, this is self-care Sunday. This is Love on Ourselves Sunday. This is Soulful Sunday. And this is our reset time, a time to reset our minds, our bodies, and our spirits and get ready for the week, okay? So let's begin by doing a deep breath. We're going to do 3 deep breaths in through our nostrils and out through our mouths, nice and slow. So get in a comfortable position. Come on. And let's begin. Deep breath in and out. Once again, deep breath in and out. Last time, deep breath in, hold, and out, nice and slow. Doesn't that feel good? It felt good. Okay. So let us begin with our affirmation, queens. Yes. So this week's affirmation is, I pour into spaces and people that pour into me. Once again, I pour into pour into spaces and people that pour into me, right? Because we're letting go of those relationships. We reevaluate in people, places, and things that no longer serve us. And we're going to pour into those spaces and people that pour into us. All right. Now, for our scripture of the week. It's 1 Corinthians 15:33. Bad company corrupts good character. Clock that T, baby. Let's say that again. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Bad company corrupts good character. Eat on that, okay? Chew on that for a while. And lastly, for our wellness activity for the week, I want you to audit your relationships this week. I want you to really take a look at those people who are in your life. And I want you to audit them. I want you to sit down and think about how those relationships have been formed and where they're going, okay? And just do a real deep dive in what you want to do about those relationships and how do they benefit you and where you are with those people. Amen. And lastly, queens, listen, we're at the end of this podcast, and I want to personally invite you to the Queens Tribe. It's a private Facebook community where we just love on each other. We love on each other. We speak life into each other. And starting this month, we're doing a 90-day intentional journey together. So I invite you over to our tribe on Facebook. Like I said, it's totally free. It's a private group. And each day we're just going to pour into you, love on you. And we're going to grow together and adjust one another's crown. And also, queens, if you want to get the Soulful Sunday Journal, it's over on Amazon. Go ahead and click that link and get yours today. Once again, thank you so much for listening and tuning into today's podcast. This has been Soulful Sundays Podcast with Corinthia. I appreciate each and every one of my listeners, supporters, queens, fellow queens, sister girls, all of the same. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, we adjust our crowns daily. Be blessed, queens. Peace.